No one ever noticed the janitor until the moment his voice cut through the polished silence of the corporate parking lot like a siren in the night, sharp, desperate, and impossible to ignore. It was just past 6 in the evening, the hour when glass towers reflected the fading sun and executives loosened their ties, eager to escape another long day of power meetings and profit charts. The CEO, Elena Wright, stepped out of the revolving doors with her phone pressed to her ear, distracted, confident, untouchable, the kind of woman the company magazine called fearless, the kind of leader people admired from a distance but rarely truly knew. Her black luxury car waited curbside, engine running, driver standing stiff and silent beside the open rear door. That was when the janitor ran forward, blue overalls still dusty from a 12-hour shift, one glove half torn, eyes wide with something far deeper than fear. "Don't get in the car," he yelled, his voice cracking as if it came from somewhere broken inside him. The parking lot froze. Conversations died mid-sentence. Phones lowered. Heads turned. The driver stiffened. Elena stopped, stunned, annoyance flashing across her face as she finally looked at the man everyone else had spent years ignoring. Security began moving, already rehearsing the apology they would force out of him before escorting him away. But the janitor didn't back down. His name was Daniel Carter, a single father of a 7-year-old girl named Lily, the reason he worked 3 jobs and still showed up every morning with tired eyes and quiet dignity. Daniel had learned long ago what it meant to notice details others missed, the wrong sound, the wrong movement, the wrong silence. He'd learned it after his wife died in a hit-and-run, after he realized the world didn't stop for grief, and especially after he realized no one was coming to protect his daughter except him. That instinct was screaming now. Something was wrong. He had been emptying trash near the underground garage when he saw the driver make a call, short and coded, then subtly switch something near the dashboard. A man who cleans floors learns quickly that danger doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it smiles and opens doors for you. "Sir, step back," security barked, grabbing Daniel's arm, but Daniel shook him off with surprising strength. "Ma'am, please," he begged, his voice no longer loud but urgent, raw, human. "I don't know how to explain it, but that car isn't safe." Laughter rippled from a few executives, the uncomfortable kind that comes from witnessing something that shouldn't be happening. A janitor stopping a CEO. It was absurd. Elena's first instinct was anger. How dare he disrupt her, embarrass her, challenge her authority in front of her own company? She opened her mouth to speak, to end this nonsense with one sharp sentence. But then she saw his eyes. They weren't wild. They weren't crazy. They were terrified, not for himself, but for her. That hesitation lasted barely a second, but it changed everything. "Everyone, stop," Elena said suddenly, raising her hand. Security froze. The driver stiffened again, just a fraction too slow. "Step away from the car," she ordered him calmly. The man protested, sweat forming at his temple, and in that moment, Elena knew. She didn't know how she knew, but years of boardroom battles had taught her to trust the quiet alarm in her chest. Within minutes, authorities were called. A device was found under the car, small, lethal, undeniable. The parking lot erupted into chaos, sirens, shouting, disbelief. News spread through the building faster than any corporate memo ever had. A janitor had just saved the CEO's life. The company's life. And possibly dozens more. Daniel stood to the side, shaking now that the adrenaline had drained, wondering if he'd just lost his job. Instead, Elena walked straight toward him. The crowd fell silent again. She looked at him, really looked at him, the man who mopped her office floors at night while she chased growth and headlines. "You didn't just save me," she said loudly enough for everyone to hear. "You reminded all of us what courage looks like." The next day, the story dominated headlines, but inside the company, something even bigger happened. Elena shut down operations for a full hour, unheard of, and gathered every employee, from interns to executives, janitors to managers. She told them Daniel's story. Not the dramatic part, but the human part. The single dad. The long nights. The invisible labor. She announced a new company initiative, education programs, living wages, childcare support, and a promotion for Daniel, not as a symbol, but as recognition. Daniel didn't ask for fame. He asked for stability for his daughter. He got that and more. And the company changed forever, not because of a policy, but because one man who was used to being unseen refused to stay silent. If this story moved you, inspired you, or reminded you that heroes can come from anywhere, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Stories like this prove that courage doesn't wear titles, and the next one might change the way you see the world.